What's the worst? People with negative attitudes or seeing things always halfway full.
Okay. Do you have more context, like a story that you could share that will help us understand what you're talking about?
Just literally, just people that just in everything that sees everything just negatively. Like, okay, it could be raining or something, but then maybe like the rain is to help somebody somewhere else in the world, maybe planting, maybe they need it, maybe it was a drought or something like that. Like I don't like negative halfway thinking people. I'm a very optimistic person. I like to be around optimistic people. And I just like to look at things halfway full rather than empty.
Mm. And have you always had this mentality, or did it transition at some point in time in your life?
It transitioned because, I didn't always have that, but then again, I was being around someone that was negative themselves.
Mm.
So once I, departed from that individual, it just made me really happy, more happier with life, instead of being with, a bloodsucker,
Yeah,
whatever.
basically misery loves company kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And just, just happy to be here now. My perspective on life has changed tremendously, and I'm more happier now than I ever been in my life.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that for you. That's awesome. So, is there any way that you could share, like, was this at a youthful age, or was this like a transition when you're in early 20s, or was it like when you're 30s you found it? Because it also feel like you have to have a contrast, right? Because you saw this person was kind of bringing you down, always pessimistic and stuff like that, and then somebody else had to counter that to kind of show you like it doesn't have to be this way, or did you just come to the awareness yourself?
Um, Again, once I departed from the person, I'm 41 actually, so I'm not young.
No,
Like
you look
young.
very young.
I know. Um, so yeah, just departing from the person again. It happened fairly recently, to be honest with you.
Oh wow.
Um, so I feel like I lost a lot of years. I have more years behind me than ahead of me, and I want to make the best of them. Um, but yeah, it happened fairly recently, so I'm just really happy to be here. To be honest,
And
couldn't want it.
do you mind me asking, was it like a partner that you're with, or was it like just a friend?
It was a partner. It was a
Gotcha.
partner. It was a partner. I got with them early 30s. Again, I'm 40 now, 41, about to be 41. So, yeah, it was definitely a person partner.
Wow. Okay. And was it other like tactics that they would use to keep you strung along for that long of a time frame, or was it just like you were like in a spot where you like had to have like financial means put together to kind of get through it, or kids or something like that? If you mind me asking.
It wasn't financial. It wasn't children. Although I do have, um, it wasn't anything like that. It was just narcissistic, manipulative behavior.
Mm,
That's it.
interesting. Okay. So if you don't mind me asking too, like what advice would you give to other women that are younger that may be dealing with those kind of like people that are narcissistic? Like, what kind of tricks would they use that would be narcissistic to you?
Set boundaries. Do not allow anyone to cross them. And then that's just anyone. Uh, Respect yourself. Do not let anyone like disrespect you. But the boundaries thing is very, very important. Like you will literally feel when you're being violated. You can feel that. And once you feel that, separate yourself from whatever it is. Just separate yourself from it.
And do you mind like sharing an example of a boundary just so again, so audiences will know like what to look for?
Yeah. Again, you'll feel it. If you're not comfortable doing something and someone's like just like egging you on to do it or whatever, for example, you don't want to like say if if you're uncomfortable, for example, if you're uncomfortable with your partner talking to someone that they may be calling a friend, that you can feel that it may be more to it,
Hmm.
and then they're trying to convince you that it's not, but you know that you can feel it.
Hmm.
Run, let it go, drop it instantly. You have to put yourself first. You absolutely have to put yourself and your feelings first. You don't want to be with someone that's not, you know um you don't want to be with an inconsiderate person or someone that like is gonna like, they're all about self. You don't want that like at all.
Hmm. And it's wild that you use that example too, because actually there was somebody that came into my live the other day by choice. They joined me and they said the same thing that this is the situation where she had a boyfriend that got up in the middle of the night, went to go help this female friend they grew up together, and said it's nothing like that to go and fight a domestic boyfriend over there, and didn't wake her up or nothing. So she woke up to a bed with no one there, and they didn't call the cops, something like that. And he was like, "Why did you go help her? You could have got hurt by this guy, and could have called the cops. It's not your relationship to be dealing with." And so she had her own intuitions, ended up breaking up with the guy. So very similar kind of like example of kind of what you're talking about.
Hmm. Because like, well, did she say that like the guy was like, was he cheating? Was it like a cheating situation, or he just said that he went to go help her? Like, what's the
He
context?
said he just went to go help her, went to beat up the boyfriend to separate. And I was
And
like,
he,
that sounds fake.
yeah, I'm sure he went to go beat up the. Sure he did.
Right. For sure.
Sure.
And I felt so bad for the situation. She said she broke up with him. I said that's probably the best solution, I would think.
Yeah, literally, like literally, that's happened to me where, my ex told me he was going to do something to help somebody. It seemed like they were all in distress and nobody could do it but him.
Mm-hmm.
BS.
Yeah,
BS.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, just keep your boundaries. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel when something's not right. You're gonna feel it. And you have to cut the cord. You have to, no matter how hard it is. Cry it out for as long as you need to get it all out. But it'll be the best choice once you make that decision. You have to put yourself first. It's not selfish. But
Gotcha.
if you don't help yourself, you can't help nobody else.
100%. I agree with that 100%. Now, a quick question for you though, too, since the relationship was so long, do you advise other females maybe dealing with similar circumstances to look into like marriage counseling to see if you can save a relationship? Or is there a gut feeling where you're like, there's no going back at this point kind of thing?
Funny thing is, I did counseling. We did counseling like four times, and
Mm,
it never worked only because he wasn't 100%.
mm.
So therapy doesn't work if you're not 100%.
Right. It's like going to a gym if you only get what you put into it.
Yeah, if you're still eating junk and you're going to the gym, you're not going to get the results. It doesn't work like that.
100%.
But what else did you ask me? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, that was it. Basically, I was just wanting to know if like you thought that is there worth saving, especially if it's a time thing. Because sometimes if it's so much time or there's kids involved, it's something that's worth it to give it a
Yeah,
try.
but even with all the time, like if that person is not putting forth the effort and they're not 100%, it is not going to work. 1 + 1 is 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Blah blah blah.
Mm,
It's not gonna work. Like only person if you are putting in all the effort, it's going to suck you dry.
mhm.
It is literally going to drain you. That's what my situation was. I was literally being sucked dry, and I'm thinking, like I was making myself sick,
Mhm.
honestly, just like mentally, physically, and whatnot. Um, Again, it's a feeling, it's an energy. You can feel when something's not right, and you need to tap into yourself and just be like, okay, you gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps and just let shit rock. Just let it go. The best thing I did was let it go. If anything, I'm more mad at myself. I did let it go sooner
Mm.
because I lost mad years now. And what if my person would have been out there?
Yeah.
So like my advice to younger people and what I would advise myself was leave sooner.
Mhm.
It's not going to change.
And if you don't mind me asking too, was there other like friends or family members that would tell you kind of the same thing to give you that, hey, he's not a good
Yep.
apple, or did you have to do journaling and reflecting to get to this point as well, or was it a compound of things?
They all told me. They all told me, but everybody was respectful. They just waited for me, honestly.
Mhm.
And once you come out of it, they're like, we were trying to tell you, we were waiting for you, essentially. And but everybody was still respectful about it because when you do too much on someone because you want them to get out of it, it's only going to backfire on you. It's
100%.
gonna,
You can't change
so
somebody
just
unless they're ready to change. 100%.
and that's what I was. I wasn't ready to change because I loved them and all this other stuff. And again, that's where the manipulation came in because he emotionally, was dragging me along. He knew how I felt about him emotionally, so he played on my heartstrings and all other stuff. But you know, my people, they seen and I didn't see because I was inside the box. So they're
Right.
having people outside the box and they see what's going on. But it stuff had to hit the fan for me to really like be like, okay, this is it. Like it was physically, violently, I was vomiting, like how sick I would get, and just random things was happening to me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. And again, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story. It's amazing that you got free and now you have your own independence and hopefully you have a great glow to your smile and everything. I love it. So I'm happy for you.
that's the breakup glow. That's the That's the breakup glow. You definitely, you definitely get a glow. When you break up with somebody that was sucking life out of you and then you get back to you, it's a glow. I've been having major attraction from everyone, honestly. Like,
Yeah, you're rejuvenated.
yeah, but like done. Like, I'm not a blood bag anymore. So,
Well, awesome. Well, that's pretty much the gist, man. I think you gave us a great perspective.